So today what we're doing is we're seeing if ChatGPT can write my documentation and my test for me. And so I've sent it the code of the project I've been working on, and you can go see this project in writing messy code the clean way. And what it is an automatic linter that will correct your errors so that you can get your output instead of worrying about, small name errors, key errors, attribute errors. And so what I did, if you watch that video, is I had the function in the first place as a decorator, and I decided it was better if it just corrected the one line of code and then returned that as an output and didn't decorate anything. And so I didn't change all the errors, all its error handling mechanisms to fit the new implementation. And so I'm just throwing my code at ChatGPT to try to see if it can fix my big errors list. And it cannot. It didn't write me any code back, and it's making a few wrong assumptions about my code. So the first thing is the session active variable is not defined. So ChatGPT isn't picking up on the fact that I'm throwing this key error on purpose, and that's to make sure that a session isn't instantiated over and over and over again, leading to Stack Overflow. That there's some way that I can uh, instantiate the class myFido once and get it running without it being overwritten the next time it goes through the script, because it's just reading from the file. So, and the other thing is also wrong. I'm lost in tabs. And so it's saying that I should just have I shouldn't call the retime print function, but that's the whole point, is in the initialization, instead of returning an object, really, I'm really just trying to get this function to start going, and it thinks that I should just print the memory address instead. I don't really get why it thinks I should do that instead, but that's wrong. And so let's give ChatGPT another try. Let's ask it another question. And I'm not even, it says after applying these fixes, the updated code should look like this. I'm not even going to bother with that. So can you write print all so that it can work with retime print? So print all is the one that's using eval. It's fixing a function, a code one line at a time. And retime print is the one running the whole show and controlling the recursion and controlling the frame stack so that we can eventually have a code that runs with no errors. And eval z is going through all the errors in the all problems list. So eval is just eval. That's not anything I define. That's just the built-in eval function. And it didn't change anything. At least I think it would have wanted to change the use of inner and func, because inner and func are no longer being passed to print all, because it's no longer a decorator, and it didn't even touch that. If we really wanted to stop the tape and look through it line by line, it didn't really change anything. And so thanks a lot for that, ChatGPT. But let's look at another clip, because it is actually helpful in some other cases. It did write me some proper doc strings. So let's give it another chance. Let's try to provide it with some more information. And so I didn't know about giving it like two different pieces of code. I wonder how it would associate those two together. So I asked it if I could, and it said that I could. So I'm going to try to give it the error first and then the code to model it on. And so sending ChatGPT two messages of the same topic was a mistake, but it did give me an interesting look into how ChatGPT's mind works and exactly how much background information you need to give it. Because this first response to be guide is absolute nonsense. But that's because it's giving us a sample of how we could use our own input to fix it. Because the adding the plus y, that's not good at all, but I like how it suggested the difflib because I've never heard of that library before. And you can see in its next response that whenever I kind of gave it the model to work on, it realized, oh, I should use regular expressions to fix this. But I still don't think it would have been able to solve it if the error message wasn't really helpful, because it got from the model of the code that I sent it that it can use the error message to provide enough information to fix it, and the error message basically tells you what to do. So the second response does fix it. But what I like about my solution is whenever I do it, I use an eval statement to check it step by step. And so instead of just throwing back some completely unvalidated code that kind of had some basis in fact from the error message, I'm actually making sure that there is an object that I can use whenever I rewrite this code, and rerunning the whole script won't just be a waste of time, and ChatGPT doesn't account for that. So I sent it the whole program again with all the context to see that if it could tell me what the main function readTime print does. And it gets the gist, but there's two glaring errors. And so here's one. So hello is for keeping track of the script. And so that a modified hello is passed between the recursive calls of reprint error so that we can have a cumulative effect and make sure that the newest version of the script is being checked for errors. And it doesn't say anything about that or the recursion, so I feel like it misses a big part of the breakdown of the function. And also, it says that if an error is not specified, then it checks for different errors, but the error is always specified because print all, the one that evaluates the code line by line and uses eval, raises the error because I was too lazy whenever I was changing it from a decorator to change all the try except statements. And so it only fixes specific errors. And so it doesn't check for common error patterns. It takes the explicit error to fix it.